Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to video number 216, and this video is based on simultaneous equations models. Let me start with the simultaneous equation system. As you can see in this slide, y1 is equal to alpha 1 plus alpha 1 y2 plus beta 1 z1 plus u1, and y2 is equal to alpha 2 y1 plus beta 2 z2 plus u2. If you see, y2 is an independent variable in the first equation, whereas in the second equation y1 is an independent variable. So both y1 and y2 are jointly determined by solving the simultaneous equation system. So in such kind of equation we cannot use OLS. Now a question is, what do you mean by simultaneity? It is a specific type of endogeneity problem in which the explanatory variable is jointly determined with the dependent variable. As you saw in the earlier case, y2 is jointly determined with y1 and y1 is jointly determined with y2. So as with other types of endogeneity, instrumental variable estimation can solve this problem. Some special issues to consider with simultaneous equation models will be discussed later on. Let me start with an example that is related to supply and demand for labor. And we start with an equation that someone would like to estimate, say for example, labor supply function. And labor supply function is denoted by HS, where the subscript S stands for supply, and H means number of hours worked, and that is a function of W, that is the wage rate, and Z, that is an exogenous variable. U1 is the error term. In this case, as I mentioned, W is the wage rate and Z is a supply shifter. Now we call this a structural equation, and it is derived from economic theory and has a causal interrelationship where W directly affects hours worked, which means that if wage rate increases, the number of hours worked will increase. So the sign of alpha 1 will be positive. Now there is a problem with this equation, and we cannot just regress HS, that is the observed hours on wage, because observed hours are jointly determined by the equilibrium of supply and demand. Now consider another structured equation, and that is the case of the demand for labor function, and it is shown by this equation HD, which is equal to alpha 2 W plus U2. HD is the number of hours demanded, and W is the wage rate, and U2 is the error term. So hours worked are determined by a simultaneous equation model. Both hours worked and wage rate are endogenous because they are both jointly determined by the interaction of the supply and demand equations. Z is exogenous variable, and it's the availability of this exogenous supply shifter which allows us to identify the structural demand equation. With no observed demand shifters, supply is not identified and cannot be estimated. So if you look at this figure, the downward sloping curve is the demand for labor, and there are three supply curves for labor. The first one is with the Z1, where Z is equal to Z1, and when Z shifted from Z1 to Z2, the supply curve shifts from this curve from this curve to this one, and similarly when Z increases to Z3, then the supply curve shifts. So supply increases, but the demand curve remaining the same. We can use instrumental variable to estimate the demand function for labor. How can you do that? So we can estimate the structural demand equation using Z as an instrument for W. So the first equation is that Y is a function of Z. So W is equal to pi naught plus pi 1 Z plus V2, where V2 is the error term. In the second stage equation, H is regressed on W, and instead of original W, we use the estimated values of the first stage equation in the second equation. So therefore, these two stages least square provides a consistent estimator for alpha 2, the slope of the demand function. But we cannot estimate alpha 1, the slope of the supply curve, as I mentioned earlier. The general simultaneous equation model. Suppose we want to estimate the structural equation y1 is equal to alpha 1 y2 plus b1 z1 plus u1, where y2 is equal to alpha 2 y1 plus b2 beta 2 z2 plus u2. Therefore, y2 is equal to this equation alpha 2 into alpha 1 y2 plus beta 1 z1 plus u2 plus beta 2 z2 plus u2. In this equation, we have plugged the value of y1 from here, from this equation. So 1 minus alpha 2 alpha 1 into y2 is equal to alpha 2 beta 1 z1 plus beta 2 z2 plus alpha 2 u2 plus u2, which can be rewritten as y2 is equal to pi 1 z1 plus pi 2 z2 plus v2. By substituting this reduced form in for y2, we can see that since v2 is linear function of ui, y2 is correlated with the error term, and alpha 1 is biased, and we can call it simultaneity bias. Suppose so the sign of the bias is complicated, but we can use the simple regression as a rule of thumb. In the simple regression case, the bias is the same sign as alpha 2 divided by 1 minus alpha 2 times alpha 1. Identification of the general simultaneous equation model. Let Z1 be all exogenous variables in the first equation and Z2 be all the exogenous variables in the second equation. It's okay for there to overlap in Z1 and Z2. To identify equation 1, there must be some variables in Z2 that are not present in Z1. To identify equation 2, there must be some variables in Z1 that are not present in Z2. We refer to this as the rank condition. We must note that the exogenous variable excluded from the first equation must have a non-zero coefficient in the second equation for the rank condition to hold. We must also note that the order condition clearly holds if the rank condition does, and there will be an exogenous variable for the endogenous one. Estimation of a simultaneous equation model is straightforward. The instruments for two stages least square are exogenous variables from both equations, and we can extend the idea to systems with more than two equations. That is, we can extend this idea to a system of equation in which there are three equations and three variables, and similarly four equations and four variables. For a given identified equation, the instruments are all of the exogenous variables in the whole system. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a brief but easily understandable video about simultaneous equation model. I hope you got some idea of how simultaneity bias can be parceled out and how can we use instrumental variable or two stages least square to take care of simultaneity bias. If you haven't yet subscribed to this video channel, kindly do subscribe and do not forget to click on the bell icon so that you can get notification about other informative and useful videos that I'll upload for you in near future. I thank you very much for watching this video. Have a good afternoon.